Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to be teaching everyone how to make this cool looking 3D sushi effect. I'm going to leave all links to the original creator who made the sushis, and then I just sort of put my own twist on them. These colors we will need throughout the design, so I will leave the exact numbers to get these colors just on the screen now, just so you guys can put them in the little squares like I have here. So without further ado, we're getting started. We're selecting the rectangle tool, clicking on the page, so it should bring up this little thing. We're typing in 292 and 280, click OK. Then we're rounding the corners off to near as 70% as we can, so 70.00, nearest you can get to that is fine. Move that over to the side slightly, select the black color, remove the stroke if it has one, and then you want to go to your path, offset path, which I believe is underneath edit if I'm not mistaken. I'll correct myself here if this is wrong, but we're going to be using this a lot. So we're selecting white, then going to offset path again. We're going to go to -40 this time and select OK. Then you want to select your darker pink color, round off those corners a little bit more, like that is perfect. Then you want to select the whole thing and Control G or Command G on Mac to group that whole thing together. Then you want to copy the sushi over, ungroup that, make sure you delete the pink layer and the white so we just have the back. Then we're going to be selecting the green, removing the stroke if it has one. Then we're going to be selecting offset path again. Then we're going to be going to -30 for the first one. And we're going to be selecting black, removing the stroke, and then we're going to go into path, offset path again, and we're going to be typing in -10 for the next one, selecting white, removing stroke, clicking on the white, path, offset path again, -6 will be our next number. Click OK, then select your darker pink and remove the stroke if it has one. There you go, that's the base of the sushi done. And now we're just going to start adding in our other details. So we're going to be getting the ellipse tool, making not a perfect circle, it wants to be more of an oval shape. Placing it on our document, and then we're going to be selecting both the circle and the square and clicking -front, which will be on Pathfinder. You can find that in the Windows section. You can get the Pathfinder little pop out, and then just -front on that. Then we're creating another circle, making that the same green color, placing that over the top, making it a little bit smaller. About there is perfect, maybe a bit bigger, nice. And then we're going to be getting these rectangles, and this is where we're going to be selecting our lighter pink. We're going to slightly angle this, about 60% is about alright, and we're going to copy and paste this 4 times, put them over the top just like this. Make sure they're mostly evenly spread out, that's about right. Then you want to select all 4 rectangles and the weird shape we have in the background. You want to go to this tool that's on the sidebar, and you want to hold down your option key if you're on Mac, or whatever key basically turns it into a minus. It will be either Control, Option or Command on Mac, and on desktop I believe it's almost the same. I think it's Control, Alt, and something else. So it should be your Alt key. And then we are selecting our original sushi, clicking inflate, and just selecting isometric top, and just basically copy the exact inputs I'm gonna put in for mine. So the depth 124, volume 79%. There we go. Clicking this button in the top right basically decides realistic lighting. Go over to materials next, go down, type in 0.13, going over to lighting, scroll down, and intensity we're gonna keep at 70%, and then we're gonna go -60 for rotation, 50 for the next one, for height 50, and then softness we're gonna go 55 on this. Just waiting for the Mac to load it all. 55, and then the bottom 150 is fine. And then you want to scroll down to your section. Let me just re-input that. Scroll down, turn on the shadows, wait for that to load. This could take longer depending on the speed of your PC or Mac, and that is basically how easy it is to create this really cool 3D with realistic lighting sort of sushi. And then basically all we're going to do is go off that. That's going to be all be grouped as one shape, and you're just going to put that to the side. We're selecting our second sushi now, and we're going through the exact same things as we did on the original. So input all the same stuff, all the exact same depths, 79% volume. Just do that for, and then make sure it's on isometric top. Make sure the top right is clicked. There we go. And then scroll over to materials. There we go. You scroll down 0.13. Go over to lighting next. Just wait for that to load. There we go. Scroll down. 70, -60, 50, 55, and 50 for all these boxes. So the next one there is going to be 50. And it loads 50, there we go. Then 55. This will take a long time to load sometimes, just because some computers really hate this 3D materials. Some won't even let you do it, depending on how good your computer is. So make sure your computer is really solid before attempting this, because it could crash if your computer is really bad, and you don't want to lose all your progress. Make sure we're turning on shadows as well, and that is the second sushi done. It's that simple to create the two original sushi images. So we're then gonna be creating another layer above the bottom one with the images on. Basically put in a square, make that a little bit bigger, just put it sort of outside so it's the entire thing. Right, select your blue color, remove the stroke, then position the sushi how you would like it. For mine, I have the sort of the darker one to the front, the green one at the back. You can have this however you want it. And we're moving over to this image that I'm going to leave down in the description. We're basically creating another layer, and you just want to go over lightly with the pen tool just the general shape of the chopsticks. So this does not have to be exact. You'll see me sort of rushing this shape Basically just all you really want to do is just make sure that the general shape is there, that it's just long and rounded at the ends like that. Connect that back up, nice. And you just want to select a general brown color. This doesn't matter too much. The one I ended up using was this brown here. B86528 is the color I exactly used. You then want to take those vectors you've just made, make them bigger. You can always group them if that makes it easier for you. Makes it easier to move around and scale and stuff like that. But then slightly rotating, positioning that where we would like it on the design, making it bigger. Nice. There we go. And then you are basically going to do the same sort of things but slightly different inputs and a lot of playing around. So we're going to be inflating it, going straight over to materials, and on materials there should be one called Lark. I think it's Lark Wood. It should be there. If you don't have it for some reason, just select the nearest sort of material to wood, and then we're just going to be playing around with these things here. You guys can copy these exact ones at 0.81, 0.37. Then we're not touching a lot of these. That's all fine. Select render with ray tracing. Just basically adds a bit of shine. Very nice. Excuse me. We're going over to lighting. We're pressing shadows. Load that. Now the shadows can be quite temperamental and it is a lot of playing around, so I'm just going to skip forward now until I sort of found the exact thing that I can tell you guys to input into your own design. So just 1 second. So here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We are approaching a very, very good area that we want to be in. I'm quite happy with this. So if you just want to copy the details 70, -101, and then you just want to play around with the height, I like the 42, work quite well. You see me go back to the rotation here and just sort of see if I can find any that are closer. That's quite nice. So sort of between -104, -105 is good for the rotation. And then right at the very bottom, you've got 8% and 36%. And that is the general sort of chopsticks that you're going with. You're then gonna rotate your design. This could take a long time to render and load. I'm quite happy with that, how that's positioned. It could be better. Obviously with more playing around, you probably could make it look a bit more like this, a bit more sort of where the shadows sort of long and that sort of stuff. And now just for that is the main sort of artwork done. If you're wanting to add more to it, you can drag that, you can copy and paste that into Photoshop. You can add your own text. I used Google Translate just to add a tiny bit of Japanese inspired text in the background, just to make it sort of less simplistic and a bit more sophisticated looking, a bit more advertisable, you might say, and clean. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a like, make sure to subscribe. I really appreciate the support on the last couple videos, and I'll see everyone in the next video.